too.
Welcome to Booze and Ball. Oh, that glitch. That was fucking weird.
These are our sophomore question marks. And yeah, these videos were filmed the week before free agency, and that has affected some of these players. Not all of them, but it still holds true. So what you're about to see are these players that we just don't know what the heck we're going to do about.
Booze and Ballin. Fantasy football shaken.
Not stirred.
I'm Todd Webb.
I'm DK. I'm surprised we got that right.
We did it. It's been a minute since we did this in person. Normally we have a script and
now we don't.
And you're in front of a bookshelf.
Now I'm in front of some gay lights.
We need to make the purple is not the manliest color we could have chosen. We got to get you a real bookshelf, kind of like that. So anyway,
that'd be nice. My wife would actually love a bookshelf,
but you have to learn to read.
I don't know. Don't tell me I'm ugly and can't read good.
Books on tape came around to make reading irrelevant.
All right, tonight's inspiration brought to you by
surprise.
Another bottle pick. I love bottle picks. I have no idea how this tastes. I've never heard of this bourbon before in my life.
I love when he picks these while he opens that real quick.
Hold on, I still have to announce what it is. Tonight's inspiration coming from a new Riff.
There you go.
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 100 proof, 50% for those who don't know. It's a sour mash.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
New Riff has some good stuff. New Riff's
I don't know if it's just a new bottle or not, but I've
seen it around. I can't remember. I think I've had one, but it's been a long time. I don't know which.
Kind of looks like a black and tan on
Fall
screen.
20. It does look like a black and tan. That's funny. Fall 2021 on the back there. Distilled fall 2021.
Yep.
Oh, it's their bottle and bond.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. It does say bottle and bond right there. That's why it's 100 proof. Okay, I've had the new Riff, but I've not had their bottle and bond. Nice pick. Well, anyway, tonight, while we're drinking that, our episode is addressing some sophomore slump, sophomore issues, I don't know what we want to call it.
Stash or pass.
Yeah.
Guys that are right on that bubble, like you might be like, fuck, I don't want to drop this guy, but we don't want to let the enemy get him, because if he blows up, I'm going to be pissed that I dropped him and let the enemy get him. One of those kind of guys.
It's starting to get into... And we are officially back because Dustin cannot open.
There is no perforated edge.
There are no perverted edges on that. But
do you see any notches on this bitch?
Let me see this. It's probably right where you can't see it.
Those sneaky bastards. I don't know.
But these are the guys that are on your roster right now, and with the draft coming up and then getting to roster cuts for Dynasty leagues and drafting for Dynasty leagues, we're getting to the point where you got to decide, are they going to take up a roster spot or are you going to cut them, and cut them for who? So this is probably going to run long. It'll probably be, we will be done with this episode before we get to taste this new Riff, Bottle, and Bond. Just use your teeth. Let me see. Use your teeth. Get in there.
Where's your scissors?
No, I don't have any scissors nearby.
There's a hammer over there. Keep me calm. Keep me calm.
So we're going to start with running backs tonight. And if this goes long, part 2 will be wide receivers and touch on 1 or 2 tight ends. But good God, this is amazing. I'm nervous for you at this point.
Dude,
let me see that.
It's shrink wrapped
Let
on
me
there.
see it. Let me see it. There's got to be a way.
Can I just pull it off?
Maybe.
Oh,
it's coming. You're going to find the perforated edges when you pull that up.
Do you see any perforated edge on that bitch? There's zero.
Yes, right here. Yeah, it's right there.
You found it?
Yeah, it's right there. See it?
No, that is not it.
Yeah, it is right there.
Uh-huh, then do it.
I am doing it. Right. Look. Does that mean that I drink too much?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll let you open it, your bottle and bond. So we're going to start with the running backs, and we're going to hit one that's really, really weird. And the reason that this guy is tough is because of where you probably drafted him in your rookie draft. He went in the first round of most rookie drafts, and we're talking about Caleb Johnson. He came out the number 5 rookie running back, roughly, give or take, depending how you did your rankings.
Yeah, I would say he was drafted anywhere from 5th to 8th last year.
Yeah,
first round.
He was drafted in the first round of almost every fantasy startup. You were thinking he's going to a situation. They don't have you had Jalen Warren, who never carried a full load before, Kenneth Gainwell, who came in as a backup. So you thought he
saw Kenneth Gainwell coming in and having
and being that guy. New Riff, Bottle, and Bond. It's one of those where you drafted him and you expected him to get the carries. Now, nobody knows why. Is it Aaron Rodgers hates rookies? Is it he had a bad camp? He did any of that.
I still
tough.
think the majority of what happened to Caleb Johnson last year had a lot to do with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he
That
hates
dude
rookies.
is a fucking monster in the locker room, and what he says goes for the most part. And I think even Tomlin lost a little control of the team last year, and I think that's why he was like,
So
I'm out.
speaking of which, we got a new coach coming in. He was picked in the 3rd round of the NFL draft as well.
Yeah,
And Gainwell is probably going to be gone.
you would hope.
Because of his draft capital, does he stay on your roster? I think because of how early you drafted him, you almost have to make room for him for one more year. If you have a sophomore spot in your taxi squad,
Yeah,
he's got to go in.
He's a great candidate there. I agree. I think you spent way too much draft capital. The Steelers draft capital on him is a lot as well. So I think you got to hold out one more year.
This is good,
it
by
is
the way.
so weird that they didn't compliment him and Jalen Warren, and they complimented Jalen Warren with Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah.
Because I thought Gainwell and Warren play very similarly.
I think
they
they
didn't have a whole lot of like
Caleb Johnson remind me
ground
more
and pound.
of
You know, like
the
I don't-
Najee Harris.
yeah,
with
correct.
Jalen
Like
Warren.
I thought for sure he was going to
than
go straight
anything.
in and take that Najee Harris role.
I
and
thought he was going to take all the goal line work.
They didn't have a Najee Harris role last
No.
year. They just let Rodgers sling it all over the place, and I don't think that's the Steelers. That's not Steelers football.
That's not Steelers football. So I think he deserves a spot. You got a new coach coming in, and what you spent on him, just like with Jonathan Brooks, you probably kept him for another year after his sophomore, after the second injury. But I think he's got to stay. I think he deserves a spot purely on draft capital.
Yeah, and the talent we saw coming into the NFL, I mean, it was there.
Yeah.
His decision making and his vision kind of like seemed like it was a little off last year. I don't know if it was
maybe
just,
they saw something we didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know it either. But just because of the strict first round pick that you used on him last year, it would really, really hurt if you had to drop him to waivers just for somebody else.
And he ended up getting his shot. And
He's
being
the
at
one
least an
that
RB flex.
He's the one that would scare me the most out of anybody else on this list putting on the waiver wire, except for maybe the next guy we're getting ready to talk about.
But he coming in the most talented guy on this list.
We thought he had the chance and the road to be the number one rookie running back last year.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Genty.
I like to say I don't think he's done yet. So we'll see.
I don't think so either.
So the next guy, you like this guy.
We've been high on him since day one.
And he looked good. The last 4 games.
He got hurt at the end of the year. Devin Neal, the New Orleans Saints, we think is super talented. And
very talented.
I think depending on what happens with the Kamara situation,
he has a path to be an RB1.
He does. If Kamara's not there next year, if they somehow move on from him, which I don't think is going to happen, I think Kamara made that pretty clear that he wants to stay a New Orleans Saint for his entire career.
Victory, like he's going to take a victory lap. Like he's not going to be.
But let's hope that Devin Neal can sneak into that early down role a little bit more.
I think he would. I think if Kamara stays, it's Devin Neal's path to RB1 with Kamara being that more of a receiving
like
back.
he was when Ingram was there.
Yeah. And it's good
Neal,
because
they've already proven too that they can supply 2 running backs.
Then maybe Kamara now here's the only other caveat is I was gonna say Devin Neal in the 4 games before he got hurt, he was RB23 overall. So he's right makes
there.
Your starting lineup. But the Saints have been tied to Jeremiah Love. So I think the caveat is if he goes there. Oh, you slapped it at me? It's been there the whole time.
I think so.
If they take Jeremiah Love, anybody behind him, wherever Jeremiah Love goes, for a couple of these guys on this list, because it's possible for a couple of these, they're pointless to have.
Yeah, I think there's a couple running backs coming out that if they end up with any of these guys, then you're not happy about it.
You got to hold him through the draft, and if Jeremiah Love doesn't go to the Saints, Devin Neal, I think he needs your roster.
Because a quick shout out to the running backs in this draft class. I think there's some sneaky good ones out there.
Jonah Coleman, I really like.
And if they end up, both the guys coming out of Penn State, both the guys coming, Jadarian Price might be the most underrated running back I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, because he was basically a backup. So
but he had over 6 yards per carry in college. He was the second best running back in the nation this year.
He's overlooked just like Neal could be or any one of these guys if Love goes to there.
But anyway, we'll get the rookies in a couple weeks. But
no, I do. I did a who I'm watching at the combine, and for the most part, who I watch, Mike Williams Jr., the dude who was crying after he ran the 40. It
was like 4.22. Is that what he ran?
Yeah, I know 4.3 something. The big he's like 6'2", 220, and ran a 4.3 something.
Shit. Yeah.
Now, granted, in college he dropped 2% of his carries, which is high, but He moved up. I think there's sneaky talent. We'll see.
But yeah, Devin Neal, absolute stash. Put him on. I think he's got a great chance to lead that backfield next year.
Unless Jeremiah Love gets drafted there, I think he stays. He's got to make it through cuts.
And if Kamara, for some reason, throws a wrinkle at everybody and retires, I think Devin Neal becomes an instant RB2.
Oh, yeah.
And hope to God they don't bring anybody else in.
Because Condre Miller's not going to compete with him.
Yeah, and hope they don't bring in like a Tony Pollard or something stupid to completely.
I don't think they need
ruin him just like they did Tajay Spears.
I don't think, and people tie in Love to them, I think they go wide receiver, so I think his job is safe with that path to RB1, so that's why I say it's worth it. Another guy who also could get that Jeremiah Love proverbial raping, Brashard Smith.
Yes.
He's another one on this list where Pacheco and Hunt are both free agents.
I would love to have a conversation. I could have a whole episode on Pacheco. Like, what the hell happened to him?
He looked great. In the playoff run, he looked unstoppable.
Yeah.
He was Nick Foles in the Super Bowl, got a 4-year contract with the Jags, and went back to regular Nick Foles. Pacheco did the same thing, looked great. And then the next year just wasn't.
He looked like Trent Richardson.
But to me, Brashard Smith wasn't he? Yeah, to me, he is. I'm torn because if they bring back Pacheco, it knocks him down. Hunt, if they bring him back, I think Brashard Smith has a path to get more carries than Hunt because Hunt is his age and everything. He's not a 3-down back. But if they get rid of both of those guys, I see him going running back in the draft.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I hold on to Brashard. If they bring another running back in,
I think they're going
outside. Now, Love is a caveat. Love comes there, drop them all.
I was super on board. I was all in on Breece Hall ending up at Kansas City.
I cannot believe the Jets franchise tagged him. That bothers me.
That bothers me too.
It bothers me for him and Braden Allen too.
It bothers me for him too. And it's the Jets. It's the most Jets thing I've ever seen. Let's take the franchise tag and give it to somebody who doesn't even want to be here anymore. God damn. Hopefully it's a sign and trade. They just don't want to lose a guy the value of Breece Hall. Maybe they want to try and get something out of him.
See, because we talked before, we thought Breece Hall would end up in Kansas City.
That's where I thought he was going. I thought he was a perfect fit for Andy Reid's offense, and it would have been a nightmarish issue for anybody else trying to go
And if he does,
offense.
Or a guy like that, or actually there's a lot of talks of K9 could possibly end up there. If one of those two guys ends up there, what do you do with Smith? Blah, blah.
He becomes just more of a handcuff. If you have the spot,
so now you're making that choice.
I would keep him over your Ray Davis. I would probably keep him over guys like that, that are just handcuffs. But you can't, you're not going to drop somebody that is going to see touches because I don't see his path to touches if a K9 comes in the door.
Yeah, he's just going to be. You're keeping him if you have the room strictly.
Because you're never going to be able to start.
You're keeping him as Kamani Vidal for Omarion Hampton. You're keeping him as that Tank Bigsby to Saquon Barkley, just in case they get hurt because they have an injury history.
Correct.
Outside of that, I think he's one of those guys that I'd be almost okay dropping him.
I would be too.
But I need to see what free agency starts.
And it also depends on your league depth. If you got a 12, 14 team league, you might have a bench where you can use the spot to keep him around and see what happens.
A 16 team league, I'm keeping him because
Brashard Smith is in one of those positions that this offseason is going to be super key. If you're going to have to follow what Kansas City's doing in the RB market, and if you hear a lot of names flying at the team, that means they're desperate to get one and they don't like what they see.
I have no idea what Kansas City's doing. Just got rid of one of their top 2 defensive talents.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to have Raji Rice. Maybe ever again. So and I was going to put him Worthy on our wide receiver list, but I think it's a no-brainer. You got to keep him, especially with the whole Rice crap. So he's not even on the toggle.
Well, they've used Worthy too. I think you got to give him a chance to blossom.
But yeah, I don't know what the Chiefs are on, so it's kind of questionable. I think Pacheco and I think Hunt could both be gone. I don't see them wasting a franchise tag on Pacheco. So
no, he was terrible last year.
Brashard Smith
it wasn't even like he was hurt. He was healthy and it was just terrible.
They're going to bring in somebody. It's just a matter of who. If they brought in Pollard, I'd still be okay keeping him.
That would tell me that they're willing to do a committee because I don't think Pollard's going anywhere to be a workhorse back.
No. So we'll see where that happens. Next guy you like.
Yes.
And actually you like his potential backup in LaQuinn Allen,
I like
too.
both of the guys in this offense, and we will see who comes out as top dog coming out of the camp.
But he's Tootin.
With Tootin and LaQuinn Allen, I would want both of them on my roster if I could do it.
Fastest
talent-wise,
40 time of the rookie draft of the
and
rookie class
every
last year.
game that he was healthy and played, he got touches, even with Travis Etienne there. So you know they like this guy.
Etienne's a
And then
free agent.
Etienne had a great season, and they're like, yeah, unless you want to take a huge pay cut, you can walk.
Because they flat out, I mean, I think they flat out said they don't intend to use, as of now, they don't intend to use the franchise tag.
They're
on
going to
him.
stay real young at the position and have two really good.
And I think
backs.
him and LeQuint, I loved LeQuint coming out of college, and I hated how he got buried there.
Yeah.
But I like Bichel for your speed back. I like LeQuint in the red zone.
I think they're a good.
They're a lesser, but a Gibbs Montgomery kind of.
Yeah, the Stevenson Henderson kind of mix.
And actually, now that we said that, before we move on, now that we made this list before Montgomery trade. Now
That's
we
true.
should have put Woody Marks on this list if we're talking about that.
Yeah,
I just said Montgomery to make me think, like, what do you do? So we know that
really sucks for Woody Marks because he was playing well last year, even with a shit offensive line. I think he's still going to get touches. I don't think Montgomery goes in there and just at 29 years old or whatever he is and just commands.
But I think Woody Marks is going to be
touches,
a hard to start roster spot for the next year.
Yeah, he's another strong.
You're going to have to keep him. You don't drop him.
You can't drop him. He had
I'd
a
say
great
maybe
year.
Trade him.
He's probably a high-end RB3, RB2 without Montgomery there.
Yeah, without Montgomery there, he's an RB2.
And then with Montgomery there, I'd say he's still a high-end RB3 or like midline. You know what I mean? I don't think he drops much.
No, because Mixon being gone and Chubb is obviously they're showing you that.
And Montgomery hasn't
Chubb's
commanded a full load since he was a Bear, and even when he was a Bear, they didn't give him a full load. So
no, he's still got some. He
had injury issues when he was that guy.
He's
so
still got
see.
some legs on him too. So it's interesting. But I like what they did. But I think it's Woody Marks. Honestly, if it's me and I have Woody Marks, I'm trading him to someone who's rebuilding.
Yeah,
I'm trading him for capital, either 2027 draft
or
pick
the guy who owns Montgomery.
Or the guy who owns Montgomery I think right now for Woody, because you're going to lose him for a year.
But you can't trade him to somebody who's in contention because they're going to lowball the shit out of you, and I don't think you're going to win that deal.
But he's a good rebuild. Or if you're in a rebuild, Woody Marks deserves to stay on your roster.
I would agree.
Bashal Tutin. I think
he's not going to help you win this year, but at the same time, he's going to be a great piece moving forward.
He will be good moving forward. I don't think that they're going to. Montgomery might be there.
I think the Montgomery trade is more of a depth piece. I really don't think Woody Marks just disappeared.
Well, they still don't have offensive line, so
well, hopefully they can still get to that.
But like I say with Bashal Tutin, he's staying on my roster because I think they're going to move on from ETN. I think they're going to move on for cap reasons, and I think you're going to see Bashal Tutin get a real shot at being an RB1 unless they bring in. But I don't think there's a running back in the draft as much as I like John Coleman. I don't see a running back that's going to say you're definitely not getting a shot at RB1. So
for Tutin? No, there's no way in hell the Jags touch the RB position in the draft. Simply because there's too many free agents out there for if you want a vet to come in there, I guess, and kind of be a leader in that camp.
I don't see them going after a vet.
The only reason I could see them going after one is to just like a Nick Chubb or something to add depth at the position and teach the young guys. Have him come in knowing he's not going to get many touches. He's just going to be a leader in the
just
clubhouse.
To spell him there and give some.
Just because they are both sophomores, so they kind of need a guy to like put their. They need a guy to be like, "Hey, youngin, let me show you how this is done."
Because I don't think you're learning a lot. As much as I like ETN, he's the most overrated, underrated at the same time running back in the NFL.
He's the most hot and cold dude I've ever seen.
So I don't think you're learning a lot from him.
Yeah, no, and he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that wants to be that guy, especially because he's fighting for a roster spot last year. So he was like, rookies, get the fuck away from me. I'm trying to get paid here.
Yeah, and he's not.
That shows you a great season last year, though.
Because of a couple big weeks.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He's that guy who has, if you look at his point total and his average, it's high because he has some big weeks, but he can also very easily disappear. And that's why I think they're not, for us, we're not paying you. Yeah. Especially when you got two guys behind there that were notable in a
damn near more
rookie,
efficient.
In a deep running back class. They were notable. And Bashal Tutin with the ball is fun. This next guy, waiver wire, great waiver wire pickup. Bill, Ja'Cory Cross-Key Merritt.
I still don't know.
The only question I have for him is because it's fucking Washington.
I saw you put him on the list, and I was like, I'm sitting there.
He's a perfect one because he should be RB1 in Washington.
Oh, he is the perfect candidate for this episode because I still don't have a damn clue what I would do with him. I think I would try and move him because I really think Washington goes heavy for a running back.
They're a prime landing spot for Love as well.
But
I
then
don't think they need
Washington,
to.
they're going to get a running back, and then they'll somehow Chris Rodriguez will still end up with 22 targets.
Right. JCM has
carries.
a great week, and then Rodriguez gets a start.
And then gets hurt. So then it's JCM again, who has a decent week.
Washington is so fucked up.
And then they're like, oh, let me give JCM another. And then JCM has one like mediocre week and not very good. And then immediately the next week, Chris Rodriguez gets everything. It's like, what are you doing to the guy?
But to me, the pound for pound most talented back on that team is Bill. He should be RB1 going into the season, given that they don't add anything. I don't see them going after Love because to me, I don't
think Love will still be there for them.
No. But to me, they're
what,
McLaurin
like
already doesn't want to be there, and Debo is getting old and fat.
Yeah.
They need if they're going to go a skill position, they need wide receiver.
I can't imagine
unless they go Kenyon Sadiq and go tight end because they could use that.
Well, they just took Ben Sano.
Yeah, but do they love Ben Sano?
I don't think so. Then again,
Kenyon Sadiq is
Sano's still
fucking freak of nature.
And Sano they could just use him as more of a blocking tight end then and let him.
Right. I think if he's there, you got to take Sadiq.
Yeah, that would be a good fit for them.
Because he could drop to them.
And receiving threat. And I think he's the all-around pick.
Because then you could still keep Debo. You have the other
league is going to be loaded with tight ends in a couple years.
Yeah, I know.
And what happened to the position? It went from
a couple sleeper tight ends from this draft class that I really like too.
I remember the days when it was like Gronk, Jimmy Graham, Travis Kelce. After that, like you didn't know.
It was a huge drop off. Now they're relevant.
And then George Kittle kind of started to sneak into that category.
He's an interesting one too. But I think I don't think they should go Love. I think it's stupid for their organization, but they don't know what they're doing. Giving Brian Robinson Jr. away for a 6th round pick. They have no idea how to handle running backs in Washington.
Still just dumbfounded by that.
And now
then they struggled at the position outside of JCM having some good games here and there the entire season.
Now where's he going to go?
They had no short yardage backs.
Where's Brian Robinson Jr. go? He's a free agent because he leads into our next guy.
What, back to Washington?
Right. So to me, JCM, I think unless they draft Love, I think
I could see a guy like Brian Robinson ending up in like this New Orleans.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or him going there to the Jags or something like that.
Yeah.
Be that type of back. But I think JCM, I think he's one of those guys because of the talent, unless they go a heavy hitter at running back or make a move for a stud, a 3-down back, I think JCM is going to be relevant. I think given another year in a full training camp, I think he could take that number 1 spot. And he should. But we'll see. But that
agreed.
Brian Robinson Jr. leads into the next guy.
Yep.
Jordan James. Brian Robinson Jr. is a free agent. If he's gone, who's the backup? Does Garendo come back? Jordan James is fighting Garendo for the number 2 behind CMC, who I would be willing to bet my house does not play a full season after the year he just had 400 some touches again.
Yeah, and the rest of the team hurt, so he had no choice. But
Jordan James is one of those where I'm thinking sneaky, but there are so many people you would keep. I'd keep JCM,
this is the
Tootin, Brashard, Devin, Neal, and Caleb all over Jordan James at this point.
I promise you, even the people who own CMC are getting nervous about CMC. So you take Jordan James and you shove it down their throat until they click accept on that trade offer. Because you try and get as much as you possibly can for him right now. That's my take. I would throw it towards whoever has Christian McCaffrey in your league.
But if you don't have Christian McCaffrey, it's really hard. I think
it's hard to keep him on your roster because you don't know if he's even going to have that backup spot.
He's going to get passed.
We both like Garendo. We were shocked when Brian Robinson Jr. ended up. And it's like, hey, just another 1,000-yard back that's capable in that backfield.
And I don't think that means that Garendo's goes away either. Because still on a rookie deal.
Yeah, he's still and he proved that he can do it if he given the opportunity, right? Outside of the injury, and then bringing in Christian McCaffrey obviously completely derailed his early career.
Yeah, unless I own Christian McCaffrey, I don't think Jordan James makes a spot on my roster.
Agreed. Just because I'm scared of Garendo. Like, even if CMC goes down, like, Jordan James is still going to be in a committee because I think Garendo gets touched.
And if they keep Brian Robinson Jr., they sign him for like a 1-year deal or something like that, then 100% he's gone. He could be one of those guys that you drop and then spend waiver money on later. But I don't think he makes initial cuts.
Yeah, you definitely keep an eye on him because you don't want somebody else getting him if for whatever reason he gets that opportunity. But yeah, just the short term, even the next couple of years, I don't see him.
No, not until CMC is completely gone and they figure out what they're doing.
So if you have him and you're like, dude, this is a drop candidate, and you're like, all I want's a 3rd round pick, go to the guy who's got CMC and be like, hey, can I have your 3rd round pick?
You can
for
get a
this
3rd round pick for Jordan James pre-draft before we know landing spots. Is the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with it.
I mean, league year starts in a couple days, so
Because worst case scenario, you're just trading one guy that you wish you could put in your taxi spot for a guy that you can put in your taxi spot.
That's true.
I've done that many times in a dynasty league.
We got one more guy on this list who you and I both loved and got no love. It was DJ Giddens sitting behind.
But every time
Jonathan
he touches the ball, it looks like that's where he belongs. Like,
I know. It's like I can attribute a lot of that to the lack of the touches.
yeah.
But he's still Tyler Goodson, Amir Abdullah, and Ahmed are still there as of now. He's sitting there like he's one of those guys where I think he has all the talent where I want to give him a roster spot, but I'm torn.
Depends on when you got to get your roster correct, but he's the one that I need to see camp before I let go. Because if he locks down, like hands down, he's the RB2 there in Indy, he's on my roster. I'm not getting rid of him.
Because to me, he's a great fill-in for Jonathan Taylor. He plays very
Just
similar to JT. So if JT was to go down, because he has been injury prone.
I'm going to say JT's due.
We've been saying that for like a year and a half at this point. But he's a perfect fill-in because he runs just like him. He's a better fit than Goodson and Abdullah are to him.
Yeah, he's another tough one because you didn't get to see a lot last year. Now, like not like Tootin where he still got touches when he was healthy. Like Jonathan Taylor just commands.
He's like Caleb Johnson without the draft capital.
Right. So
you see the talent, but you're just not getting the opportunities.
So yeah, there's another one there where it's like, hey, do you throw a flyer at whoever owns Jonathan Taylor? Like, here, maybe you want this guy's backup.
I think he's worth more draft.
That's definitely the strat. I don't know if you've got caught on yet, but that's my dynasty strategy is if I've got somebody's like key handcuff, before I flat out drop them, I will take the lowest round pick that the draft offers. So if you do 4-round rookie drafts, I would take a 4th rounder before I would drop somebody.
Well, and that's actually a perfect way to look at the running back class, sophomore class. For those guys you don't know, if you don't know, trade them as a handcuff for a 2nd round or a 3rd round, depending where you're at. You're not going to get a 1st round for any of them. I mean, the best value currently would be Devin Neal.
And totally forget about where you drafted him, like what round you drafted him the year before.
Because that don't matter.
Shit don't matter no more.
Caleb Johnson was drafted in the 1st.
And he's worth a 3rd right now at the moment.
At best. I mean, on talent, he's worth a 3rd. But yeah,
but you wouldn't pay more than that for him. I mean, you're absolutely keeping him on your roster, but you wouldn't go pay more than a...
No, you could get
maybe
a 3rd
late
for these
second.
guys. Someone will give you a 2nd for Neal. You could probably get a 2nd for Tootin. Probably get a 2nd for JCM if you wanted to. But JCM and Tootin, I think they stay on your roster regardless. Caleb Johnson stays on your roster regardless because of capital. The rest of them, I think, are trade them to handcuffs or trade them for capital. And if it's me, trade them for 2027 picks because you're going to be a little bit deeper. And especially if you need quarterback.
Depends on what you need.
Yeah, but I trade for 2027 future picks because you'll get a little more value than currently.
Yeah, once you get past the top 20 in this draft, it starts to get a little.
It's going to be interesting. So
that's what I say. You're going to see a lot of free agents coming out of this draft, if you know what I'm saying.
That's our running back list. Let's talk about this bottle of bond. It's pretty good.
I enjoy it. Very smooth.
I had the new Riff. I think it was single barrel or what. I had something by New Riff.
Some stomach issues over the week, so I've been.
There you go.
I've been milking mine a little bit.
This is what the doctor calls for right here.
This is what they used to drink for medicine.
This is nice. I did not know that you could get their bottle and bond here. I'd like that. I know.
The finish is fantastic,
and it's a great price point for it too.
Yeah, it was only $40. It was $39.99 a bottle.
New Riff has some very good sleeper bottles.
5% malted barley. I wonder if that's that aftertaste that I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. Malt,
because it's definitely
got a malt.
It's got like a ooh at the end. You know, I don't know how to explain it.
Ooh is actually a phenomenal way to explain it. Because there is no. You ever notice like the way people? We were talking to someone on a podcast and we were talking about. They said, "Oh, it tastes like leather." Like someone like you're licking leather. Who licks leather to know what leather tastes like? Like when you come up with some tasting points for bourbons and whiskeys, some of it is ridiculous. But the problem is like it's hard to describe some of them. So makes sense. But it's one of those where if you can't put your finger on it, and I was to say to you, like, yes,
No, like
it tastes a little bit like eating like wheat, like a sweet wheat bread kind of. And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you're right. You'll notice it when someone says it, but to try and pick out flavors is always so. Everyone's palates are different, and tasting notes are different for everybody because not everybody likes the same stuff. But if someone says it, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, you're always gonna get vanilla. You're always gonna get.
You don't have a clue what's coming. Like you don't taste the flavor that I'm talking about until you're like exhaled out and done drinking it.
Then you're like,
And then you go, whoo, like what was
Ooh.
that?
Reminds me of running through a wheat field with my mouth open.
I want to run through some flowers.
Malted barley. Our next episode is going to be on wide receivers.
Starting right now.
No, we're going to talk about this first, and then we're going to cut it, and then we're going to come back in. We can clip this into one. We're going to clip this into one. We're going to make you come back to watch that. So if you had to rate this quick, what would you rate this?
Drinkability. I actually really like it.
It's easy. It's very smooth. That's one thing with the bottle and bonds, because if you don't know bottle and bond, they're all at 100 proof. That they have to be 100 proof to be bottle and bond. And there's a whole bunch of there was a Bottle and Bond Act. They have a whole bunch of rules, federally bonded facilities, where they're distilled, one location, a lot of stuff to it.
85 on drinkability. And that's with me coming off of sickness. I probably could have gotten higher if I wanted to.
It is an easy drinker because there's no like real burn. There's nothing that really smacks you.
No, and then at the end of it, you get that whoo.
You get that actually. I am never knocking it. I'm gonna go on one of my bourbon posts and be like, oh, this has got a nice creamy mouthfeel, a little peppery apple, a little woo.
Woo. Oh yeah, I love it.
That has to be a thing. Hold
on. I want a shirt that says woo.
I want to try it real quick, not watered down.
Just pounds it.
No, I just want to.
Alcoholics, I tell you.
I'm not coming off a stomach issue, and all I got to do is go shopping in the morning.
I don't know what I have to do tomorrow, but I don't really care.
I'll tell you what, it definitely, when you water down, you lose almost all of that hug.
Yeah.
When you get it on the ice and it gets chilled, that like little burn that lingers, that woo kind of goes away neat. So that woo is actually the wood that you're getting then, because the ice will bring out more of your, to me, when you put it on the rocks, it brings out more of the smoked, the wood flavors.
That's what I like. Maybe that's why I like the rock so much, because that's more me. I like that flavor.
I'll live there with you with an 85 for drinkability. It's very easy to drink.
I think it's very good. Flavor.
This is
what's your
might
flavor?
Be one of the best surprise bottle picks you've gotten, actually. Better Hoot and Young.
I see Hoot and Young.
Hoot and Young ain't been touched.
Hasn't been touched since we did it last year.
After we did that, I've seen a lot of people who really enjoy like Hoot and Young.
We'll fucking resell that thing. Then,
taste?
It's fucking terrible from what I taste.
Taste is there. Now, see, tastes were different because I drink a lot more heavier proof and stuff. So I want a little more complexity. So this is simple. It's still really good. So I'd go a little bit lower on taste just because I want a little more up front.
Yeah.
But all the way through, it's good. I'm not saying
I was
going to
go lower on taste as well, simply because, like you said, there's not a whole lot there, which is why the drinkability is so high.
Yeah, I would probably put it around
outside of the woo that I like.
I would probably put it around. See, it's good. It does taste good, but I need a little more. If you've ever had 78,
that's what I'm going.
I was gonna say 79. I didn't want to put it into the 80s, but like if you've had the Heaven Hills Bottle and Bond, it just hit that more front of your mouth palate, like right off the sip. There's a little more complexity to it, and I like that. But I would say that a 78, 79 for taste and an 85 for drinkability, because it's an easy drinker. Yeah. I can sit here and drink these all night.
I could sit here and drink this all night too, which I can't, unfortunately. But
bottle has got to be up there about an 85 too.
I was gonna say that bottle is dope as shit.
I love that. It's funny. I didn't even think it. You said black and tan. Like it is a black and tan.
It literally looks like a black.
And if you know what a black and tan is, it's a Beck's or whatever the damn beer was, and Guinness on top, like
is it Beck's?
Amber beer. Is it Beck's? No, it's black and blue is what I drink. Blue Moon.
Yeah, I drink a black and blue
with the Guinness on top.
I think the black and blue tastes way better. I thought
it's not Beck's. What's the bottom beer?
Oh, that's bad.
I always go black and blues. Blue Moon with the Guinness, because the little orange tint in the Blue Moon with the Guinness is really
so good too.
It's Beck's. It's not Beck's.
It might be Beck's. I thought it.
It's in that family.
Yeah,
like that amber ale.
I thought Bex was like this color though. I didn't think Bex was.
Un Bex?
Bex.
What does that mean? Beer
Beer
Fest.
Fest.
Why did we not do that from the get-go? Just
Bex.
Bex. Oh, God. I have to put that. We have to clip that in here.
All right.
100%. All right. Well, that's our our sophomore running backs that you don't know what the fuck to do with. And hopefully we made it easier, but I'm pretty sure we confused you a little bit more.
Yeah, if you got any other ones that you want us to go over, go ahead and drop them in the comments below.
And we'll be doing a roster breakdown. We're going to be posting too. I sat down with your brother and we did a 20-minute show trying to break down his roster and how he starts his rebuild. And he is a perfect example of not knowing how to trade. We are going to be posting that video soon too. So we want to have some of you guys call in with your rosters and talk through with us what you think you do. Like, we can bring you on and tell you why you suck. Or why we suck and your team's better than ours. But anyway, that's an episode. We're going to come back and talk receivers with the next one. We can talk about Josh Allen.
I'd be scared shitless if I was in your position, but that's just me.
I'm making the playoffs this year. Watch. I bet you. Whatever you want to bet. You know why? Buy Rashad White right now. That's an episode. Pokanuka.
Poganuka.